Alright, fellas. After like 3 months, I think, we got ourselves a new Dean of Doom video. We got... Oh, I forgot to pull the video up. Whoops! I was watching an Aussie video, my bad. The 10 by 10 project! Oh my god. The joke in the Decino Discord that lives rent-free in my head. I think they were talking about 10 by 10. I think it had just come out or something like that. And I think he hadn't heard of it yet. And he somebody asked him if he was excited for 10 by 10 or whatever it was. And he just responded with, what is 10 by 10? And I think Decino just impulse responded with 100. Which is a joke that will forever be ingrained in my head because that sounds like something I would say. And I still find myself giggling at it, like, even in the shower. Because that's the best time to giggle at things. So, it has been a long time since I've had to give this intro. Mount Pain, the 27th Mount Pain, actually, has given me consent to make this video. If you've not seen the original, please turn this off. Go to his channel, go find this video, the specific video, and go give him your first view. Because the man deserves it. And then come back here and we're going to watch this together. The 10 by 10 project. Let's see what we got.
Hello there. I'm Mount Pain 27.
Is this... It says it's 1080. Let me just make sure. Alright, I trust you.
And this is Dean of Doom, the show where we give grades to classic and contemporary Doom mods. Why? Because ranking things is fun. Today's episode will be dedicated to the 10 by 10 project, or just 10 by 10, a Boom-compatible WOD released in 2022 by...
Or as my stupid ass would have probably pronounced it 10 times 10 or something before I heard about it.
Lunch. 10 by 10 has a rather unusual premise. Every one of its maps was constructed using 10 textures and 10 flats, all chosen from stock assets. This might sound like a stifling restriction, but Lunch did allow himself some leeway. Essential textures, such as doors, lights, exit signs, cage bars, and all black for voidscapes were all permitted. At a glance, 10 by 10 would appear to follow in the footsteps of numerical community projects such as 10 Sectors,
which was okay at best.
1024 series,
which was arguably worse.
And the Thousand Lions community project,
which I've not played, so I can't comment on.
But 10 by 10's gimmick has a less pronounced effect on its gameplay and visuals than the gimmicks of those WODs have on theirs. Being a solo outing, 10 by 10 is also more focused and idiosyncratic. Though each map adheres to a different aesthetic than the last, the final product feels spiritually unified, not unlike Sunder and Abandon's interdimensional odysseys. Lunch borrows heavily from other mappers at times, but his original creations more than hold their own against the work of his influences. The 10 by 10 project is one of the most engaging, evocative, and personality-rich WODs I've ever played. I recorded my 4th full 10 by 10 playthrough for this episode, and that's the best way I can quantify my enthusiasm for it. So here's how the show works. Every map...
I can't name another WOD he's done that with.
And one for difficulty. Quality grades go from A to F. Grade A levels are fun, memorable, visually distinct...
Like, fuck, dude, I love Scythe too. I'm only playing it once for the channel. I'll play it again, like, whenever, but, like, as far as a recorded playthrough, I'm only doing the one. Like, the one just vanilla. You know what I mean?
Creative, and a fair challenge. We grade difficulty from X to E. X for extreme, E for easy, A through D in between. Keep in mind, my idea of a great map is probably not the same as yours, but that's okay. Disagreeing is part of the fun, after all.
Yes, it is.
Today, this show is about spreading the joy of Doom, so let's do so. Before we start, the rules are, we play on ultra-violence and must pistol start each level. We need to play the WOD twice before reviewing it. Saves are allowed, and we go for 100% kills in all levels, making exceptions when it's just not worth it. Today we're using Z-Doom and DSDA Doom with compatibility set to Boom. Now, to the WOD.
Maybe it's because I've been watching a couple older episodes lately, but you sound exhausted. Are you okay? Take care of yourself.
Map 1, 10 by 10. Every map in 10 by 10 starts with a shot of the palette Lunch chose for it.
Oh, that's really cool.
Tickle of anticipation before each unveiling.
That's
10
so
by
cool.
10's opener was destined to be a tech base with its concrete, metal, and Startan selections, but holy mackerel is it a pretty one. As you can see from its liberal use of essential textures, 10 by 10 is less an exercise in asceticism than creative focus. Lunch embraces abstraction, and that makes his visual chops stronger. Things and spaces seem to serve tangible purposes, but on closer inspection it's hard to say what those are. The effect is similar to the name one thing in this photo phenomenon, which...
Sorry, hold on. Can I get a better shot of that? Nope, don't turn the volume down.
Which is, say what those are. The effect is similar to the name one thing in this photo phenomenon.
Okay.
Which is
I got nothing.
mapping, but more noticeable when mappers like Lunch Lunch fit tons of detail through a relatively narrow color spectrum. Sunder, Fractured Worlds, Struggle Anti-Region Legacy, and the Star Dates all come to mind. 10x10's nonchalant Archvile deployment should calibrate your difficulty expectations, with the Pinky Peekaboo fight serving as a low-impact introduction to Lunch
Dare I say a pinky boo? Ha!
Lunch combat. He loves to make the player multitask, usually with a mix of area deniers, pain sectors, and grunts applying pressure. He's also fond of prop fights like the Zombie Deluge, which I dare you not to enjoy. 10x10
Yeah,
also
that's
paints Lunch Lunch's signature move. The Wolfenstein SS had the twofold effect of needling 100% kill seekers into finding all the secrets and rewarding their efforts with dopey Schustoffels. The blondes in blue are a consistent source of comic relief. The cherry on top of this excellent opener is its MIDI selection, which will give you a dose of the creepy crawlies. Grade A, difficulty
You know what that...
C-.
That's like almost... It's like... You could use that as like a telegraph. Like, if there's a secret with, like, say, a window... And you hear, you're like near it, but you can't find it, but you hear like an SS like alert to you. It's almost like a telegraph, like, hey, it's around this area. I like that idea. That's really cool. Way to go, Lunch Lunch.
Map 2, Lockjaw. This bucket of guts starts off Tyson style, but keeps munitions limited even when it starts doling out weapons. It's not so much ammo famine as ammo peckishness, but secret hunters would be better equipped to stave off the hunger regardless. Lockjaw has the lowest monster count in the WAD by a lot, allowing the elegance and economy of Lunch Lunch's placements to shine. This Caco-swaddled pain elemental will drain your ammo with loose lost souls, Revenant Mercs will snipe and bare-knuckle brawl you, Turret Mancubi block your path and sulk in the cheap seats, and Archviles stir the pot. The yellow key room is on a strict timer. A new Martian gets released every 4 SSG blasts, so don't miss a step of the dance. The final fight is
How do you time that?
diverse and deftly woven.
Conveyor belts, I guess, is the answer, but...
2 Persian Revenants, a long-range Arachno, a Mank tank, a Hell Knight blocking your escape, and an Archvile attention whore. I've seen this brand of body horror hell enough for Lockjaw's texturing to seem a bit paint by numbers to me, but every one of its encounters feels distinct and consequential. Grade A-, difficulty C+. Map 3, Salvia. A sinister elaboration on last map's flayed hell theme, Salvia hitches up the difficulty right away. This barbed first encounter can spill into the adjoining rooms if you're sloppy.
Oh, I'm gonna call bullshit on that. I disagree.
This barbed first encounter can spill into the adjoining room.
That is such garbage. That Revenant missile, I'm sorry.
If you're sloppy, and you don't want that. Every incidental fight comes loaded with a mix of hit scanners and beefy demons, so play smart. The Archvile Yellow Doorman in the southeast chamber will pants you if you fail to procure the secret rocket launcher and don't have an SSG yet.
I'm pausing a lot, I'm sorry. I just love the idea of using pants as like a verb, like you're gonna get like destroyed. I just think that's funny.
3 of Salvia's textures have faces on them, creating a bevy of whacked out screenshots for Lipith's dread-soaked MIDI to feed on. Map 1 hinted at Lunch Lunch's love for stylized lock-in fights, but Salvia professes it openly. The yellow skull key encounter makes you evade the gazes of 2 Archviles snooping from the gutter while imps boo you and a pair of barons off stage. That's fine and dandy, but the yellow keycard shebang takes a turn for the risque.
Dear fucking God, what the hell is that?
Everything about Salvia is geared to build tension, so the Leather Daddy Cyber Demon debut...
Sorry, could I have that back with Mount Payne's voice?
Everything about Salvia is geared to build tension, so the Leather Daddy Cyber Demon debut is a hilarious reverse card.
I was not expecting Mount Payne's cadence to pair the words leather and daddy next to each other talking about a fucking cyber demon. You are too innocent for this world, sir.
Especially since his getup actually makes it harder to concentrate on fighting him the first time. This is what I meant when I described 10x10 as idiosyncratic. Lunch Lunch's twisted sense of humor isn't for all audiences, but the specificity of his vision is exactly what I look for in Doom WADs today. With the yellow card in hand, Megasphere up and dive into the final fight, which packs the house with throngs of floaters and mid-tiers while another Cybe DSM gives chase. Salvi is a slow burner, but it pays off big time. Grade A, difficulty B.
How do you even put that on? How do you, like, loop the thing, like, behind you? Like, I don't get it.
Map 4, hey, this is Library, stealing its title from a meme that I was unaware of until now.
Hey, this is Library.
Is riveting,
I have never heard of that either. That's pretty good.
elusive, and sublime. announcing from the outset that this is going to be a map to remember. The opening fight presents you with a shotgun, a pair of sleeping Archies, and 2 doors leading to fights that are difficult to juggle with the vials alive. I've had little success making the twins infight with stuff, so nowadays I just shotgun them, dart for the SSG in the next room, fight for the rocket launcher, and turn the zombies behind door number 2 into catch up with it. With a foothold established,
Oh, I do have some catch up right now.
Lunch's visuals. One thing's for sure, with its obsessive orthogonality and color coordination, Penrose layouts, and floor texture tapestries, Hey This Is Library has insane gazebos somewhere in its family tree. Unlike Sunder, Hey This Is Library doesn't intimidate so much as hypnotize. The music choice has a lot to do with that. When silence descends upon this place, I can almost hear the slime drip, drip, dripping while shadows creep between musty shelves. Normally you can't judge a book by its cover, but Library is as fun to play as it is to look at. The Hell Knight Spectre room is all kinds of claustrophobic. The yellow key chamber is an exuberant rocket pop-off that's always more forgiving than I think it'll be, and the ending overflows with delicious fodder. The Hell Noble and Pinky Parade makes dead ends wherever it goes. Remember to check the Barren Coves for an ammo refill before you try to leave, because 6 more Archviles are waiting to avenge their kinsmen. Hey This Is Library feels like it was made just for me. It's a dizzyingly beautiful masterwork that I never get tired of playing. Grade A+, difficulty A-.
This WAD looks so fun. It looks so enjoyable.
Map 5, No More Zoomer Girls.
What? What?
I won't ask what Zoomer Girls did to Lunch, but it can't have been good.
I was literally just about to say that. There's no... It could not have been good.
It never ceases to amaze me just how many different moods Doom can evoke.
Yo, Lunch is into older women. He's into boomer girls.
Zoomer Girls action is razor sharp, but its drowsy MIDI makes finishing fights feel like waking up after being under anesthesia. The cream-colored ambience is similar to Hey This Is Library, but Lunch organizes this one much more rigidly. Following the tutorial fight in the foyer, the map is broken into 3 challenge rooms. Infighting, space management, and archvile avoidance skills are a must for this map. The Metal Room Plasma Fest with its clambering imps, clutch of cacos, and watchful archvile usually puts a bee in my bonnet, but I managed to clear it in one go this time. Not so with the red...
A what? Sorry, what? Oops, say that again.
The Metal Room Plasma Fest with its clambering imps, clutch of cacos, and watchful archvile usually puts a bee in my bonnet, but I managed to clear it...
Bee in... Oh, okay, I understand now. It took me a second. No, I don't like bees.
Not so with the red key room. Lunch forces you to wake all the monsters up and thread the needle between cyber rockets and a convergence of Hell Nobles and Imps, but that's not all. Respawning Archviles cover the hidey holes and the switch...
Yeah, that's Everdemon's really firing his shots at you. I couldn't get through that, I'm sorry.
It crushes them is blocked by 4 cacos and a pain element.
Oh, God.
The switch also takes Cybe out, effectively ending the fight. It's worth an aside to mention that Lunch always turns his crushers off when they serve their purposes. That gesture has real panache and makes his maps feel like they have minds of their own. Zoomer Girl's only secret is this BFG, which is pretty goddamned essential for the surprise final fight.
Oh, Jesus.
It's not immediately obvious that 4 out of 5 enemies in this map are imps, because Lunch does such a great job making you fear everything else. This marauding cyber seems like the map's main antagonist until the Archviles and Pain Elementals swoop in, by which point you're halfway to death by 1,000 scratches. When you finally take out cyber number 3, No More Zoomer Girls returns again to murky quiet. This map's combination of vicious action and mechanical dispassion is highly unusual, and its title lives rent-free in my head. Grade A, difficulty A.
Is that 5 A's in a row? Well, I know it was like A-, A+, whatever, but like 5 just straight up grade A's. That's pretty impressive. There's no way that this WAD's not like an A+ at the end. It's gotta be. So far, at least.
Sad Bastard.
Hey, it's me!
One hell of a pivot from the cold ruminations of maps 4 and 5, the flamboyant Sad Bastard will kick your ass up and down the dance floor. Every time I play this map, I think of 50 Shades of Grey Tall.
Yeah.
Shameless fire blue, hyper-abstract environment, and unchained combat would have made a great segue between Moldy and Joshy's maps. Don't play around with the BFG. To give you an idea of how precisely
This
you're
fucking
expected
MIDI.
to use it, Lunch splits 4 cell charges across 2 Schustaffel secrets. It's not a lot of wiggle room, but you can always lean on rockets. Each fight in Sad Bastard unlocks a new section section of the map, leaving it wide open for the climactic crossfire of cyberdemons, barons, revenants, archviles, and all the shit they resurrect. I admit, taking a beating to such chipper music kinda smarts, especially since I'm a pretty inept cyberdemon duelist and pretty insecure about it. I have minor reservations about Sad Bastard, but its zany energy makes it hard to stay mad at. Oh, and this platforming at the end? You're gonna want to get used to that. Grade A-, difficulty.
Another A, dude! Like this, oh my god, I'm so excited to play this someday.
A. Map 7, the Zul method. First, a bit of context for members
Zul!
who are not hardcore slaughterheads. The Zul method is named after Mr. Zul, aka Killer 5, who is best known for creating Dimensions, one of the hardest Doom WADs ever made. This map puts me in a bit of a pickle.
I know the name. I'm quite familiar with the name. Someday I'll challenge that. I'll challenge Dimensions.
Because it pays direct homage to two Zul WADs, and their thunder will be stolen if you play 10x10 or watch me talk about it first. Truth be told though, Zul method is so damn good that I couldn't resist peeking at Killer 5's work after playing it, so think of this as free advertising for Lunch Lunch, whose work is its own glowing review for Mr. Zul. What we're looking at right now is Lunch Lunch's reinterpretation of the Event Horizon, the flagship map from Killer 5's 2021 set of the same name. It's a penumbral palace of...
That is, the only thing I know about Event Horizon is I told Mount Pain I was going to play that one day, and he was like, that's really difficult, good luck, or something to that effect, so... And at the time, that was the last WAD that I'd put down in my to-play list. This was, like, well over a year ago. Obviously, it's grown since then. But I look forward to playing that, because the name, the Event Horizon, sounds so impressive, and I look forward to having my anus consumed by it.
Steel plates, poison, and gloom. Next to its fellow 10x10 maps, the Zul method's decoration feels restrained, but that's consistent with its source material. One of Killer 5's best attributes is his ability to craft dominating views with minimal lines. The relative harmlessness of these early encounters will crank up the heartbeat of any seasoned player. As soon as you step indoors, Lunch Lunch increases the voltage. Extricate the rocket launcher from its security detail and survive 3 lock-ins to open the red keycard fight, which is the deadliest non-secret encounter in the map. With Cyber Boss demolished, you can exit straight away if you wish, but only cowards and the close-minded could leave the Zul method unexplored. Stare into the void long enough and the way forward will present itself, but I warn you, forbidden knowledge comes at great cost. The Red Skull opens the Hell Knight Amphitheater outside and a secret door in the facility that whisks you away to another Zul landmark. Make sure your translucency is not set to 100 here, or you'll have a hell of a time dealing with this screaming avalanche half-blind.
That sounds awful, yeah. It's like the Alien Vendetta cavern from Fire Walk With Me, but, like, with slime instead.
With the yellow and blue skulls acquired, you can teleport to the secret exit, the very sight of which is a natural laxative. The Zul method's
natural laxative? Because you're gonna shit yourself.
Appeal depends partly on your willingness to accept being confused and your tolerance for rather extreme combat, but I don't know how you can't be impressed by this method.
Dude, it looks so fun! I want to play it! Someday I will. It looks so fun!
Depends partly on your willingness to accept being confused and your tolerance for rather extreme combat, but I don't know how you can't be impressed by this map, even if you're not in its target audience. Lunch Lunch's strict fight choreography brings out the best in you, and Killer 5 brings out the best in Lunch Lunch's visual stylings. This is the best tribute map I've ever played. Grade A, difficulty X.
7 A's in a row.
Minus.
Zul, motherfucker, Zul! Hope you enjoyed map 12 of Augur Zenith.
Map 31, the Anna Dream.
Oh.
I think I see why Lunch Lunch expected this map to be unpopular. Borrowing its title from an extremely odd WAD from the early aughts, the Anna Dream, well, God left the Anna Dream unfinished. It's so insistently askew that even Hell's sleaziest building code inspector would have it condemned. So allergic to sensical texturing it would make Joe Ilya 10 years ago say, hey, stop stealing my moves. 80% of the monsters are SS troopers, which renders the combat...
I don't remember map 12 of Augur Zenith, by the way. I haven't watched that Nino Doom, I think I watched it one other time since I did the reaction video to it, which was, like, kind of the first video I did in this new wave of content that I'm calling it. Yeah.
Knowledge.
I don't remember.
And there's a MIDI rendition.
Wait, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
It would make Joe Ilya 10 years ago say, hey, stop stealing my moves. 80% of the monsters are SS troopers, which renders the combat banal as f***. And there's a MIDI rendition of Alejandro by copyright-friendly pop queen Madame Gugu playing in the background.
How have I not thought of Madame Goo and with my sense of humor? Oh, I was at work today and I was just thinking, I haven't heard Alejandro by Lady Gaga in like a decade. I wonder if that song was even popular or if I just imagined it. Apparently, it's still a thing. That's evident in this wad.
What else? There's a pile of chainsaws next to a stuck mancubus, a room full of weirdly shaped elevators that recalls Mach 2 and/or the Master levels, a pair of cyber demons that exist only to die unless you're dumb enough to let them shoot you, and a lovingly textured maze that insta-teleports you haphazardly around while you search for the red key and chop up Mein Leben. My favorite detail is
Chop
the
up Mein
door frame
Leben.
that you're too tall to pass under unless you carefully drop into this bloody patch. The stupid hurts so good. In spite of its dumbness, I can say I enjoy this map without crossing my fingers behind my back. The Anadream revels in its bottom shelfness. Even if it wasn't attached to an obviously high-quality wad, I think its gags are good enough to cue the player into its intentional slovenliness. Grade A-, difficulty B+. Map 8, Cocoa Puff's Breath. Well, that settles it. This is my favorite collection of Doom map titles. You had me at No More Zoomer Girls, but an all-brown level called Cocoa Puff's Breath? That's genius.
Dude, you know what I miss? It's not Cocoa Puffs. I was never much of a Cocoa Puffs kind of guy. I was a Cocoa Pebbles dude, honestly. Cocoa Pebbles, Reese's Puffs, and, what was that? Cookie Crisp. Oh my god, those three, that's like the holy trinity of chocolate cereals, in my opinion. Like, you can't go wrong with those three. Now, if you hate chocolate, you can absolutely go wrong with those three. Don't eat those. But, oh my god, thank you for reminding me that cereal exists.
With a whopping 1,600 monsters on its payroll, Cocoa Puff's Breath is 10x10's heavyweight champion. But don't start yawning yet. This isn't going to take as long as you think. Lunch reveals his hand slowly, stringing you along with crumbs of fights that, except for this Cyberdom-led shootout and a lucky Hell Knight horseshoe, don't even register on the Richter scale. Then this happens. Creeping through this
One zombie, man.
super massive, super detailed,
two.
super empty cavern, it will soon occur to you that there are still 1,400 monsters left to kill. This one's for all the marbles.
Oh! Uh-huh. I understand now. It looks so fun.
The final Cocoa Puff battle dwarfs most fights
Cocoa
in
Puff
Saga.
battle.
So if monsoons of projectiles and flailing limbs aren't your cup of tea, come on, live a little. So long as you save enough cells to keep parting the meat sea, you should be able to take laps, keep an eye out for cyber rockets, and carefully nuke the archviles on the periphery. In under a minute, the horde will have cannibalized itself substantially enough for you to relax. Riding high on its hyperbole and an upbeat MIDI, Cocoa Puff's finale is not the most sophisticated fight in the wad, but it's 10x10's most euphoric set piece. Grade A, difficulty A. Map 9, Abuse Me Darling. The third and final map
Thank you for saying it like Dracula a little bit.
eclipse 1,000 monsters, Abuse Me Darling is one of 10x10's most richly detailed maps. It marries Sunder-style spectacle with Danny Babinga brand voodoo lighting, but Lunch's floors are in a league of their own. Synthesizing such ornate designs from Doom 2's stock flats is like turning lemons into champagne. Abuse Me Darling brings enough heat to earn its penultimate slot, but portions out the chaos over a longer runtime than Cocoa Puff's Breath, tightening the noose one fight at a time. My favorite encounter is this beautifully decorated centerpiece, a full-court press of revenants and cacos complicated by a cyber turret and a frothing mass of Hell Knights, imps, and Mancubi. You've won the fight if you can get behind the cacos, but don't touch the door they were guarding yet.
Oh,
Even
God.
with divided attention, the sight of so many archviles sprinting down the stairs stabs me with primal fear. The semifinal
Oh, fantastic band, Primal Fear. If you like Judas Priest, you need to listen to Primal Fear right now. You need to turn this video off and you need to go listen to Primal Fear.
round is one of 10x10's
Incredible music.
most punishing. A cul-de-sac of perched Mancubi, revenant bleachers, 2 cyber demons, and a flood of Hell Knight missile shields. The cleanup is slow and draining, but don't get sloppy. You can't afford to be at low health for the next part.
Uh-oh. Oh, that's why. A lot of revos. Hey, New Dim Community Project, Map 9. Don't worry, I'm familiar.
This map is tough.
Also
no
on
doubt
map 9.
about it, but its ending is the only section that will genuinely abuse you, darling. God have mercy on the souls of the saveless, because the prize for sweating out this platforming section is a jack-in-the-box ambush that's absolute agony to take on without cells. Victory is irretrievable if you fall in the hot
Look at his little hooves under his leather pants.
That is an extra 100 cells on the cliff. Dankeschön. Abuse me, darling. It's all the boxes of a great penultimate map. It's got killer visuals, ramps up the dread, and puts your skills to the test. But 10 by 10 isn't going to waste its final map on an icon of sin. Oh no. Grade A, difficulty X-.
Okay.
Map 10. Lunch, 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 lunch.
Oh my god. What do you think his favorite meal of the day is? Probably breakfast.
This one is special. The weirdest world in a wad full of weird worlds. Lunch, 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 lunch defies categorization.
It's so dumb. I love it.
It's a place that humans were never meant to see. Not forbidden, so much as statistically unfindable, like the center of the Library of Babel. I can't help but personify this map as some kind of self-building, inorganic elder deity amused by your trespass. I think it's the teeth grinning at you through the walls. Guardian Angel Loses Their Will by MSX2 Plus is the most inspired pick in 10 by 10 soundtrack and, in my opinion, one of the best MIDIs ever written for Doom. Its sinuous, twinkling melody lines dance at the edges of your vision and then vanish into reproachful silence. It's the perfect complement to this map's monolithic presence, an embrace of lifeless tech and fathomless consciousness.
Yeah, you're not kidding about the platforming, wow. Or the MIDI. Yeah, there's something special about it, I got you. I see what you're saying.
I hope I'm expressing, if nothing else, how much I want to capture what this map feels like, despite the impossibility of doing so with words. Lunchtimes 4 has some of the most oblique, chilling, inevitable fights I've seen in its weight class, solving the riddle of the secret Pinky and Cyber.
Are you walking here, or are you stutter stepping? I think you're stutter stepping, but I can't tell.
The turret encounter rewards you handsomely, and the main lobby fight crackles with intensity, but I'm
Oh, you know what? No, you're stutter stepping because the view bobbing is resetting. That's what it is.
Fixed by the Hell Knight room. Unless you pounce on them with a BFG first, the cattle will patiently flow until they clog every artery in the room and pelt you to death. Most of us disrespect Hell Knights on principle, even in large numbers. They're just big imps, right? Well, I laughed them off during playthrough number 3, neglected the BFG, and ate for 5 minutes. Left unchecked, this simple premise evolves into a frightening predicament. Dumb, individually minor threats in large enough numbers will inexorably overwhelm you.
Yeah, you give anything enough numbers, combined with enough space, and you can't do anything about it. I don't care. You put 15,000 zombie men in front of you with no cover, you're probably gonna die.
The glorious, stomach-churning archvile.
Oh my god.
This nukage skyscraper is the yin to the Hell Knight's yang.
Yeah, I saw this in the beginning. I didn't know if this was like I don't know if that was like a Hall of Mirrors or if it was like the skybox. I couldn't tell.
It's worth showing in its entirety.
Can you fall? Oh, okay. Just the calm. That's so cool. This wall's an A+. There's no way it's not. Oh, that was good. That was good. Oh, it didn't land. That's unfortunate. I have to fire another one. Very nice. Oh, falling behind.
Lunch changes the locks on the teleporters in the pit, so you're forced to tiptoe back across the gap when you're finished with this. I may not enjoy Doom platforming, like, at all, but I do love seeing a mapper play the part of the merciless god of the machine.
Oh, at least it's not insta-kill. That's good. Not that it makes a difference. You gotta start it over anyway.
Lunchtimes 4 doesn't quite top its 2 blue key.
Lunchtimes 4.
Damn if it doesn't spit roast you down the stretch.
Wait, say that again?
But I do love seeing a mapper play the part of the merciless god of the machine. Lunch times 4 doesn't quite top its 2 blue key encounters, but god damn if it doesn't spit roast you down the stretch. This Kako grid gives me the heebie-jeebies. The column-filled Archie, Cyber, and Zombie encounter is lethally finicky, and the final fight unleashes a tube of demons into a very cramped room and flanks you with a Hell Knight Bulwark and a chamber full of Sentry Archviles. It's a say a prayer and hope for the best situation, but whatever faith you brought to bear will quickly be crushed if you survive it. This abyss of cages and endless line of platforms is seeming proof of God's non-existence. Lunch is
The the writing in this show is like you somehow keep topping yourself, and I don't no pun intended because of the cyber demons, and I don't understand how you keep doing it, but fantastic writing. Also, the existence of both sentences of you talking about God's non-existence in the metaphorical sense of whatever, combined with you saying lunch out of context is just hilarious to me. But anyway,
platforms is seeming proof of God's non-existence. Lunch is the soul of the 10x10 project. The irony of a map with such a silly title prompting hours of reflection from me would probably amuse its creator, and I think that's the whole point. It's hard to shake this map's supernatural stare until you remember what it's called. Then you smile. Grade A+, difficulty A+.
I'm convinced Mount Payne's favorite texture is the green slime, because he also likes the mucus flow a lot, and that also has green slime in it. That's also a joke.
So, the 10x10 project
that title doesn't even fit up there.
is unbelievably good. It will humble even veteran players and mappers with its aesthetic dexterity, stimulate exhausted imaginations, and entertain thrill seekers without brutalizing them excessively. More so than most Doom WADs I've played, 10x10 feels
see you later.
tore through the mind of its maker. Lunch
Yeah, making it through. Oh my god.
values so lucidly and makes such particular choices with music, map titles, secrets, and costuming that you come away feeling like you know him somehow. I suppose that's the way it is with all great art, though truth be told, I think 10x10 is at its most compelling when it's at its most detached and inhuman. It's like Sunder, but more succinct. These extraplanar stops are all connected by a profound sense of foreignness, which, at this point, I might as well admit is my favorite kind of atmosphere in Doom. Suffice to say, 10x10 catapulted Lunch into my firmament of mappers. I will eagerly play anything he makes from now on, and you should too. My final grade for 10x10 is an A+. Difficulty-wise, this is a serious challenge with a pretty short run-up, but if you can handle something like Speed of Doom...
You are for lunch. Is this the first WAD that you've given an A+? Did you give Valiant an A+? I don't remember, to be honest.
Consider yourself prepared. Let's slap an A on it. Now for my Dean's List. Valedictorian, Map 10, Lunch. Salutatorian, Map 4, hey, this is Library. Class President, Map 9, abuse me, darling. And we're not giving a dunce cap today. Anna Dream wants it, but it's too good at being bad to really deserve it. Thank you very much for watching, and please feel free.
There is no honor roll. The entire WAD would be on it. Yeah, I mean, it gets the honorary dunce cap. Just if you named it, it's an honorary one. But it's, you know.
Share your thoughts on the WAD down below. I'd love to hear what you think, and I'll heart your comments to let you know I've read them.
Man, it's the first WAD to not get a dunce cap. Technically.
Now I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge my generous patrons. Aaron Allen, Agile Jack.
Yeah! Big sigh in his trusty log. Alright, let's skip. Oh god, have a skip to the end here.
Turbine 2K5, Why BMO Not a Crab, William Huber, and Wonka Shack. Thank you. I appreciate you all. 7, and I'll see you in the next episode of Dean of Doom.
Yeah! That was a good episode. I really liked that. That WAD looks, again, so fun, so enjoyable, so good. I look forward to playing it someday. Did it win a CAC award? If it didn't, I'll still play it. I don't care. But yeah. Welcome back, Dean of Doom. I hope your life has stabilized. And I think I might have an idea of what the next episode is. I think because you had hinted at it somewhere. I don't remember where, but you'd hinted at it. I think maybe on Patreon. I don't remember. But yeah, I look forward to seeing it. Good night, friends.